I thought we executed pretty well several times down the stretch. You know, we had the one turnover when Steph tried to throw it over the top, but about 3 other plays where we executed really well. And, you know, Jimmy got the layup off the, you know, from Dre. Got a couple of other plays where we got, you know, a good look or, you know, free throws, and that allowed us to set our defense up. So, you know, it's good to have to finish the game that way. Obviously, you always prefer a blowout if you can get it and rest guys, but you know, we have to learn how to close games. I mean, we have not done that well. We didn't do it well last night, obviously. So that was an important game for us. We think Jimmy's presence and skill is going to allow us to finish games much better than we have so far this year. So tonight was a good example of that, and hopefully a sign of things to come.
Are you seeing a chemistry build between the three, Draymond and Steph? And how would you assess Jimmy after, what is it now, 4 games, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy is, he's a real deal, you know. I mean, just a complete basketball player. Methodical, you know, under control all the time, plays at his own pace, never turns it over, sees the game, and then can get to the line frequently. So great closer, you know, not in the traditional sense where he's going to be Kevin Durant and make 4 straight mid-range jumpers, but it's more of a complete game. Get to the line, make the right pass, get somebody else an open look, get a defensive stop, get a rebound. He's a fantastic player.
What did you make of that starting unit tonight, the small group, and then with Buddy going to the bench and positive starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like it was the right time to do it. You know, I think Brandon has played so well over the last couple of weeks that I think he needs to be in that starting group now. He gives Steph another ball handler, decision maker. He makes a lot of plays out of nothing with his brain and his skill. So it was good to get him out there. I imagine he's going to be out there now, you know, as a starter for a while. And obviously with Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, and I thought Moses complimented those guys really well too. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. We got JK coming back hopefully within a couple of weeks, and so we always have options. But I think BP's got to be out there.
I guess just kind of big picture, right, going into the break, having some time off, where do you feel like you guys are at this juncture?
This was a huge game for us, especially after the disappointment of last night. We needed to go into the break feeling good. Winning 3 out of 4 on the road since Jimmy's arrival, I think that's a great sign. So I just feel like everybody is in desperate need of a break. Myself included, and I think these next 5 or 6 days will be fantastic for everybody, just to fill up the cup, re-energize, and come back for the stretch run, which is 27 games. It's after the break, it always feels like a sprint, and so I'm excited because I think we've got a lot to look forward to.
What'd you like about your defense tonight?
It's a lot of days off. Last time we had 6 days off, Zeta.
That's not a thing for me right now.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing for the last 20 years for us, right, Billy? All work, no play. Steve Kerr's going to take a nice little break here before the break, but he mentioned it getting the back end of a back-to-back on the Texas two-step. You get the harder of the back-to-backs here against the Houston Rockets, a team that's in 4th place in the Western Conference. But the Warriors did it how? By not turning over the ball, turning over the Houston Rockets, and scoring off of those turnovers. What a concept. Points off turnovers, which the Warriors had flipped here, Mully. 25 points conceded off of 20 Rocket turnovers, and the Warriors got out and ran, and they converted those turnovers into points.
Yeah, you can really be opportunistic, on turnovers, steals, missed shots. Get out and run like crazy. Make sure you don't turn it over. And then when you get in the half court, organize. Get the ball in Jimmy Butler's hands. Make sure you space, share the basketball, cut, screen. So I think they're starting to really get a nice dynamic of playing fast, but also when it's not there, Zena, to really get organized in the half court, make sure you get a shot on goal.
And also making sure that you're doing the things that what you're expecting Houston to do, what the Warriors did to them tonight. Get in those lanes, turn the ball over. And tonight, the Warriors looked athletic. the Warriors looked poised on defense. The Warriors looked aggressive. You saw it start with Moses Moody, and then it turned over to Brandon Pajemski. Last night, the Houston Rockets, every single person on their roster had at least one steal against the Phoenix Suns. Tonight, the Warriors have 3 players with 2 or more steals. That's not necessarily in their rule book usually. And so it was really cool to see them flip the tables on Houston by doing what they usually do to other teams.
13-7 when it comes to steals. Warriors win that category there. How about Jalen Green? You talk about defense. I saw Pods moving his feet. I saw Buddy moving his feet. Jalen Green, he does not want to see the Warriors the rest of the way. 3 of 10 tonight in just 22 minutes of action. 9 points for Jalen Green. He hasn't shot. He shot worse against the Warriors than any other team. As in MyFitnessPal, and be ready for hero ball because the Rockets love to go one-on-one. They did finish with 24 assists, which is 2 over their average. Big Z. The Rockets playing a lot of isolation, but they moved the ball a little bit.
Houston didn't have Fred VanVleet on the floor, and I was pretty impressed with the way they got themselves involved. But I would say a lot of those assists were built up in the second half when they started to get a little bit momentum offensively. But good on Houston, better on the Warriors being able to pick up defensively.
And Şengün wasn't a factor, Millie, at all. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, but a very quiet night considering how good he plays for that Houston Rockets team.
The Warriors are a tough matchup for Şengün because he's not the best athlete. You know, and I think when he wants to bang down low, I think Draymond's more than capable of keeping him off the block, contesting his twos. And at the other end, the Warriors really make him play multiple actions on the offense, whether it be down screens, flash screens, put him in all actions and wear him down.
And it felt like once the Rockets fell down 24, Zena, they started getting desperate on the offensive glass. Their numbers ended up looking pretty on the offensive glass. 15 offensive rebounds, 25 second chance points. But I feel like that came in the last 15 to 17 minutes of the basketball game.
And this is Houston's brand of basketball. When they get desperate in that second half, try to make a run for it towards the end of the game, they start jumping over people's backs. They start using their length to get anything going for themselves within the half court for them. I'm impressed that the Warriors were able to sustain themselves amidst the fact that they were down, I think, 19 or out rebounded, excuse me. But it was pretty tough for the Warriors to be able to get some size on how big and athletic Houston was. But overall, they were able to hold their own. I mean, Houston was
minus 10 on the glass, Millie. Overall,
similar to that game when the Warriors got up 31. And Ime Udoka pulled Şengün and VanVleet. They just went small with athletes, and they would kind of just run around crazy and just going berserk. But tonight, they weren't able to get over that hump that the Warriors built that 24-point lead. But again, this is a nice win before the break. And I think you know, coming off the All-Star break, they'll have a few days of practice to iron some things out. And I just think the longer Jimmy Butler plays with this group and get Jonathan Kuminga back, this could be a totally different team than we saw, you know, the first 50 games of the season.
All right, let's pick up the crunch time tape because we know what happened yesterday in Dallas. Kyrie Irving happened. He scored 42 and made a huge 3 down the stretch here. Look, things got hairy. The crowd got into it. Warriors up 4. This was a big shot by Stephen Curry to go up 7 to kind of slow things down to stabilize the basketball game.
Late in the shot clock, almost at the buzzer, playing late in the shot clock, having the confidence that Steph's going to free open and Draymond will find him.
And that's a tough finish by Draymond Green right there, Z.
Steph mentioned that they were focused in their execution at the end of the game. That play is a perfect example of that.
That's the play I was talking about. That high, it's almost a lifted split action where Draymond handled in the deep corner. Steph back picks Jimmy Butler for a wide open lane. It's cool. Nice little wrinkle. But when Steph screens, we know they're not going to leave him. Brandon Pajemski had one last night in the Dallas game. So, again, just lifting everybody up. It's a way to get Jimmy out of the post, but stay activated. I love him screening. And, you know, last night, Bonte, I mentioned when Steph went out in that second quarter, he had a nice curl for the elbow jumper. I think the more they get him moving, when he's not late clock, I like him in the mid post. But too much of that steady diet gives the defense a rhythm as well. So I like moving him around a little bit. I think the second half of the season we'll see more of that.
Less predictability, Zena. Moving Jimmy Butler around there with that split action on the three-point line. And then Draymond offensive, I think that's another key. Getting Draymond Green aggressive again offensively. He's been slumping with his shot, but if he's scoring in double figures like he has on his road trip, that's a bonus for this team moving forward.
There were some shots that I would have liked Draymond to pull even earlier than that 3 he made towards the end of the game, but